Going on to you Capricorns. So you have the 8 of Raphael, the 7 of Ariel, and then you Capricorns also have the 5 of Raphael. Um, so you let them go. Okay, so the 8 of Raphael, right, is about you Capricorns feeling like you will accomplish your dreams even if you have to do it by yourself. Specifically, what that means is even if you have to do it without the support of so-called friends and family, right? You don't want anybody to be around you if they looking at you like a come up, right? You may have helped them, but that's what it was. It was just assistance. It wasn't something that was meant to be long term, right? It can't you what you've got going on can't even sustain two, you know what I'm saying? A leech, basically, a person that is in your life, but all it is that they do is take and take and take, right? So this you giving them something, some money or whatever, wasn't even meant to be long term. It was meant to be short term. They took this and then they stopped asking. But there's a sense of you are, like I said, to go back to what I was talking about, because this popped up. You go back and watch my Capricorn video if you want to catch up, and then come back to this one. For all those of y'all, for all of you who have been here, shout outs to you, appreciate it. This is about how you Capricorns feel like you will be by yourself and do the thing by yourself if you have to. You know, the 7 of Ariel represents, there's nothing but opportunity, in the sense that nothing gets in your, you've made up your mind. Nothing gets in your way. You know what I mean? You have this golden opportunity to actually be where it is that you want to be. You have a chance, and you Capricorns are taking it. And so there's a lot of determination for you Capricorns, in you Capricorns, because y'all feel like y'all been waiting for this kind of opportunity your whole life, being patient, and you sat in silence for years and kept quiet about what you wanted, and you did everything that you possibly could to make it to this point. And now that you are at this point, you're not going to just throw it away. And then the thing about it is that the 5 of Raphael represents, is just that you wish that you would have gotten here a little bit sooner, right? So that's the only regret. And so now the thing is that, I ain't gonna say the only one, but the biggest one. And so now the 10 of Gabriel right here is about how you Capricorns are in a space where, so the 10 of Gabriel is like the preparation. In this deck, it means the preparation, in that sense, in that aspect, right? The preparation, the wanting to move forward, and the letting go of anything that would ultimately be in the way of you going from where you are now to a better state. So now you have the decision, right? Which would be like the devil card, right? So this is your card, the decision. But in this deck, the decision now, right, actually has an angel on it. And, doves are being let go of. Now, I'm not going to get into the symbolism of the doves or any of that. But in this one, this is more so about how you Capricorns have chosen to set yourselves free. You know what I mean? Chosen to set yourselves free. This is more so about how y'all are in a place where, this is more so about how you Capricorns are in a place where what you Capricorns got going on is that you have decided to really let go of certain things. I was just kind of like visualizing, but yeah, you really have chosen to let go of certain things. It's this, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that you Capricorns have been even practicing too recently, or I should say this year in general, is the releasing of things that will hold you down, hold you back. And a lot of you Capricorns have been doing a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go of things that, you know, that they can potentially get in the way if you don't address it. And so a lot of you Capricorns have been addressing the situation. You have been addressing certain emotional things that you may haven't addressed when you were younger. And so, all of that stuff about, like, if it's this sense of like, if these people were really your family, and your friends, they would want you to make this decision and to succeed on your own, instead of having to have those people next to you, panhandling, basically, right? Always with their hand out, asking you for something. And so now you have the page of Michael, which is, them, but at the same time, what do you have objectively? You have individuals that, panhandling with their hand out, want you to take them. And then you have the eight of Gabriel. But a lot of you understand that you can no longer do it. You will not do it. You Capricorns understand that ultimately what you have to do is you're doing it. You Capricorns understand that you have to, reach for the stars for yourself. You have to benefit you. You have to do this thing for you. It's not, one of those things where you Capricorns are trying to do it for everybody else first and foremost. No, you Capricorns understand that you're going to have to do this thing for yourself. You're going to have to, because you got to understand, like, for a long time, right, Capricorn depends on other people. That's why Capricorn grows up, tries to be super independent, because for a long time, you depend on a lot of people. You trust a lot of people, because what's going on here is, and this is kind of like the whole Saturnian thing, right, is because the person who gets with you has to give up everything that they have. And the reason why is because you Capricorns will have a vision in mind, the ones of you who does. And then what happens is, with that is, the ones of you who do, and what will happen is y'all will be in a place where what you want requires letting go of certain things, and not just one thing, letting go of almost everything or a lot. And you will have help along the way, right? Especially if you're in a relationship, you will have help along the way. And so now it's this instance for you Capricorns where a lot of you, again, you have felt dependently, where it's like, you just want to not be a dependent to anybody. You know what I mean? You want to be able to be on your own 2 feet and do your own thing without, like, having to ask people for favors and stuff like this, and being, once again, at the mercy of strangers, right? Or maybe they're not technically strangers, but like people's kindness. But you're not trying to use them. It's just that, you down. So now you have the Queen of Ariel. And the Queen of Ariel is about how, controlling your destiny. The Queen of Ariel is the Earth Queen, Queen of Pentacles, basically. So it is a queen that rules over the earth, rules over the resources, right? And so, Capricorn is the Earth Queen or the Earth King. So it's appropriate, right? So what's going on here for you is that, once again, this is where it is that you're trying to work towards. You're trying to see if you can work towards being the Earth King or the Earth Queen, right? It's not just about yes, it is about the finances, but it's not just about the finances. It's about being good. It's about putting yourself in a position to where you become much more of people, or much more of an individual, right? But you Capricorns, in a general sense, that doesn't have to ask a lot of people for a lot of things. So it's also about, like, taking weight off of other people's shoulders because now they don't have to think about if you're okay all the time, right? You good, you got it. And so the two of, and the thing is, why can't they see that that's what it is that you want to do? And so now the two of Michael and the page of Gabriel right here for you represents how y'all are in a position where y'all are in a position where the two of Michael and the page of Gabriel is all about how what you've got going on is, right? What you've got going on is the two of Michael is um uh uh um again, with that misunderstanding that they can't really see what it is that you Capricorns are really trying to set up. So my suggestion to you, right, and then you have the page of Gabriel, you're going to continue on regardless of if they like it or if they don't like it, because you see what you're doing. So my suggestion to you is, like I said, these people more than likely will be family. So it's like they don't, you're stuck with them because they're family. What I'm trying to say here for you is, if that's the case, right, and stuff like this where you can't necessarily entirely get rid of them, then you have to obviously separate yourself from them. If you don't have your own apartment, you may have to go and get one. If you do, obviously, sure, a lot of you do have your own apartment, then don't worry about it. If it's friends or whatever, or whomever it is, okay, just making sure. If it, or whatever, or whomever it is, then stay away from them. Whatever the situation is, be quiet about it and just work. And don't talk to them about anything. Pretty much, just be quiet and work. And yeah, so let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Queen of Aries. You have the Nine of Swords, King of Cups, Temperance, Seven of Swords, and then you have the Four of Swords. So, to clarify to clarify the Queen of Ariel, right? I'm doing this at night, so you have the Nine of Swords, the King of Cups, and then you have the Temperance. So, for you Capricorns, the Nine of Swords speaks to how, like, they don't know, they don't understand, they don't understand the vision that you have, right? And like, you're painting a painting. You dig what I'm saying? You're trying to make it so that things actually play out, generally speaking, a specific way. But they can't understand that because they're so worried about you giving them money and whatever else, or like buying them stuff. And then you have the King of Cups and the Temperance. And what's happening here is that for you, right, for you, Capricorns, they don't consider how much of a winding road this is for you, right? And the adversity that you Capricorns have had to deal with, still deal with, will continue to deal with throughout your life. But the difference is that now you're in a better position to where you can afford to deal with it on your own. And then, but so they don't understand that. Now you have the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. These two cards right here for you Capricorns, again, are about how, so so the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords represents, there's really a certain level of like a fence that you're going to have to put around your heart, so to speak. You will have to learn to develop to be thick-skinned, even to some people who are very close to you, because if you do not, They will be the ones to kind of get to you and tell you things and fill your ear with nonsense. Don't listen to them. Trust me when I say this. Don't listen to them, right? How do you not listen to them? You need to have that internal talk. Whatever that internal talk is will depend on if you listen to them or not. That internal talk needs to be you keeping that vision inside of your mind. It's here and here, both minds, okay? And not letting that slip through your fingers. Remember what it is that you set out to do. Remember that you are on that path. Remember that you are seeing subtle things that are showing you are getting towards victories. You're already having them now. Those victories I'm talking about. Do not fumble your do not fumble your lifestyle. Do not fumble your lifelong dream, right? Of being good and not needing a whole lot of people and being able to stand on your own 2 feet. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you come through and get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. Peace.